to the new show. Oh man.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I haven't been drinking as much, man. That's rough.
I know, since we stopped. I haven't.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually been drinking more
Really?
since we stopped doing the show. Fucking
Really?
right.
Because of like Monks on Call, or
Not because of Monks on Call. No,
just
but,
because?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because of Monks on Call. Not
Not because of the
not
band, but because of
anybody
like
in the band. Yeah, but like
No.
it's just we've been. It's like I moved out, so things have changed since the last time we did this show, right?
yeah, lots.
I live with my band.
That's
and,
awesome.
That's going well.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's just changed for me. But like it's flowing in the way where yeah. So it definitely felt like. Because the last time we did this show, like, I was living with my family.
2 years ago, man.
Yeah,
almost
it was a while.
2 years ago. It's been a lot. Lots has changed.
I was living with family.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was much different. And so it kind of felt like once I moved in with like these guys, I was just like it felt like I was just like in an Airbnb for a year, you know, like I'm just
great.
fucking like, you know, we just like it feels like the boys went out and just like
Oh,
went
that's
and rented.
awesome.
But then like so that's why I was partying so much, because it felt like that the whole time.
Right, that makes sense.
And it
Yeah.
felt like that. So like yeah, I've been drinking a lot more since we did the show, and like I was drinking a lot more.
Well, and also you guys have just been putting on a lot more shows recently.
been
Like
playing-
the one you did. What was it, last week? Now on
The last one
Friday
you were at?
That was at Lightfall
We
collab,
did-
right? That was Friday. Yeah, that was
Light
Friday.
Show?
The-
No, Lightfall. Was
Lightfall
the
at
event.
collab, yeah.
Yeah, that was a couple days ago.
Yeah,
Or
that was pretty
like a
good.
week ago.
Yeah, like about a week ago. That was a pretty good one.
That was
And-
a fun show.
yeah,
Small.
it was
show.
small. It had like that Halloween kind of
And you know what's so
atmosphere
funny?
to
We
it.
made more money off of that show than we've ever made off of any other.
No way.
Because apparently, like like it was for some kind of event. They were just like they were applying for grants for young like local
Right.
music. Anyway, they got us some a pretty half decent paycheck for this one. It was
That's
so
good.
sweet, and we were ready to play it for free.
Really?
You know, of course.
Oh,
we were.
wow.
I didn't know we were making money off that show.
No, okay, cool.
I was ready to play it for free.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, we did all that. So it's just so like since it's changed, like it felt like just I haven't been taking shots.
No, this is the
Like-
first time in a long time.
Yeah, so, like,
Last time I took shots was probably at like Buckingham.
Right? I'm
or
not. I
something.
don't
Yeah.
like to drink too much. Like
I'm
that.
a beer here and there nowadays. I'm not crazy like before.
Well, I'm more than that.
Yeah. No,
But-
I remember before. One of my favorite stories about us doing the show was back when we first started. We were both like alcoholics. Like, honestly.
Yeah, you used to drink way more.
That's what I was about to say.
Way
is that
more.
dude? We were sitting in this very room watching some movie, and you tell this story all the time, way better than I do. But it makes me laugh every
What did
time.
you do?
Well, like we're watching something, I'm like, yeah, like the cool thing about this clip is that like in the background you can see like this cool thing, and then you just like turn to like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's the fucking. I remember like I don't remember that one, but I remember like because I remember one time your dad had weed or something. And he let me smoke a joint of his weed, and I came down here, and I remember something like that where like I smoked that joint, and we were just watching a movie together. I don't remember what we were watching, but it happens all the time with stoners. Like it used to happen to me all the time.
Yeah.
I don't smoke as much weed anymore, but I used to.
Yeah, no.
And it used to happen to me all the time where somebody's talking to me, and it's just like, hey, so, and then you saw that bit of the movie, right?
Which movie?
No, but they're like,
Oh, I
they're
see.
saying
Yeah, I
they're
got you.
saying
Yeah.
it to me, and it's like, you've seen that bit of the movie, right? And then it's just like, Colton, you've seen that, right? And you just do the,
Huh?
like
Yeah.
slowly look
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Were you talking to me this whole time? Like it's literally like that's what it feels
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
And so,
for
yeah,
sure.
I can imagine I've probably fucking done some stuff like that at your house. Yeah. I'm sure.
Well, I think both of us have done it to like just each other or with people that are around.
See,
for
I'm
sure.
not even used to like sitting in front of this microphone.
I know.
Even though we only
Yeah.
did 7 of them last time,
Was it? Yeah, it was 7.
7?
It was 7, and then like the Birdman clip.
and then we did Birdman.
Yeah. Which
So-
I'm excited to see where it takes us this time. Honestly,
Oh,
I am. Like
I don't know, but go ahead.
No, you go ahead. What's up?
It's Halloween.
It is Halloween. Look at the pumpkin.
We got- yeah,
we got a nice Captain Morgan hat
got our
on our.
pumpkin
We should put. Oh shit! Actually, maybe we should hide that so we don't. They're like.
Oh no.
No, I know. I'm
Do we
teasing.
have we've got like branding all over this bitch.
No. just
Yeah, no.
hide everything.
These are student film remakes. We went to an art school.
Yeah.
We
These
have
are
a-
all by our friends.
Yeah.
Tom Tunsky's Halloween. Like, it just
Tom
told-
Tunsky's Halloween.
Tom Tunsky's Halloween.
Fugacious. What?
Fugacious. No, yeah. Today, I want to talk to you about some horror movies because it's
talk about horror
tis the season,
Yeah.
as you can tell. I don't know. I personally feel like the horror genre is one of the best genres in film, honestly. And I know you're gonna think differently because you don't really like horror that much.
I don't dislike horror.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't think much of horror.
Why?
Because it seems like every single time you're going to make a horror movie, every single so it's always especially with those like young like fucking as if I know what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like I watched old episodes of the last show thinking that I had a fucking clue what I was talking about. You know, like seriously,
you're a little pretentious dick,
because it's like I know what I like, and then when I'm on the podcast, I'm talking about what I like.
And
I sound like that's what everyone's supposed to like. And I noticed that the last time we did this, that's how I sounded. Right?
No, I'm kind of the same when we're talking about that stuff. Yeah.
But so with this, I just mean like with like literally the one pretentious thing that I do find when I watch horror movies is that all the individual directors that are making a horror movie, they go into it, and it seems like you all are making the same goal when you go to make a movie.
Interesting.
You are all just there to scare us, you know, which is fine. That's why we bought the ticket. We wanted to get scared because it's a horror movie. But it seems like when you brand yourself as a director of like literally anything, you can get away with like people walking into your movies expecting anything, and you get away with, and you don't have just one trope or like one thing to accomplish by the time the movie's over.
Right.
You have to accomplish scaring somebody.
Sure.
When you make horror movies, but you can make any other genre and be able to accomplish so many other things.
But when you're talking about scaring someone, I feel as though you're talking about it necessarily being like a jump scare. Like, oh yeah, I have to.
No,
in that
I
kind
mean
of
like
way.
I just have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I think a lot of, at least very modern horror movies, really do that well. Like, two examples, one's here on the table, Hereditary. Well, yes, it gets very paranormal, very scary by the end of the movie. That whole, like, first, I'd say, like maybe 40, 50 minutes is just pure, like, oh my God, this is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever watched. And it's because, like, it's stuff in that movie that could happen to anyone with... Okay, spoilers for Hereditary. So
yeah, the movie came out a while ago.
Yeah, I know. I want to show it to a couple of people, so I hope they don't like listen to this full part. But that scene where the guy's young sister dies in the back of the car. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's not really meant
brutally.
Yeah, brutally fucking dies.
Yeah.
And honestly, like it's not meant to be like oh my God, I'm so scared for them. It's like just a heart sinks kind of thing. And to me, that's way more scary than something like, I don't know.
No, so that's what I'm saying. This is the debate. Is that
the debate?
This is the conversation.
Yeah.
Is that like for me? I'm saying that there are many different ways to scare someone.
Yeah.
And movies and certain directors can do it however they want to do it. But no matter what, at the end of the day, all you did, you did just scare someone.
Sure.
And so that's where sort of that's where your job is sort of over.
I guess
right?
so.
So like that's what I found with like horror movies. Like I was just like I knew what to. The reason I never like idolized the horror genre was because it was a genre I knew going into. Every time you start a horror movie, you know what you're going to get by the time the movie's over.
Absolutely,
you are scared, and then you're pretty much, or you're not scared, and
then
either
it
way,
sucks.
It's if you're not scared, it sucks. If you are scared, you're still probably not going to give it credit.
No, that's totally fair. I think for me, I've
seen such beautifully done movies, like beautifully made movies that were just credited as horror movies.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like The Conjuring.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Conjuring is a movie that's above just being classed as a horror movie.
What else would you call it?
And also The Shining.
Yeah, no, The Shining's not just a horror movie; it's a psychological thriller.
The thing about The Shining is that we've talked about, and we'll get into it a little bit more. In a bit, is that like I'm actually not a fan of The Shining.
Yeah,
but I think that it deserves to be, not just because Stanley Kubrick did it, but because the style was different.
Okay.
The style was like a guy who makes movies went in there to make a movie, not just to scare you, but to make a movie.
It's a more I exactly see what you're saying. With a lot of, you're kind of going at it with the more modern horror movie take. That's definitely more so towards the teenager audience, like what's it like that I guess like stuff like a Ouija board, the movie. You know what I'm talking?
Oh, I hate that movie.
Yeah, that and the Annabelle movies, like the Nun. Like those are so bad because they're literally just made to make you shit your pants in the theater, but not like actually shit your pants.
There's like a whole Conjuring universe now, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just stupid.
It's right.
It's so dumb. I like the horror movies that not only scare you, but they really make you think. A new movie that I just saw was Smile, which you haven't seen yet, but I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry.
Well, at the time that we're doing this, dude, Smile was released what?
Smile was released actually a month ago.
A month ago?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I could have seen it.
Yeah, it's a 1-month-old movie, and it is getting dogged on by a lot of people because they went in there expecting it to be that jump scare fest. Yeah. And of course it's got jump scares in there. It's a modern horror movie. It's going to. You have to expect that. But it really deals with the themes of trauma and just despair really well, that a lot of horror movies, they have those there, but don't really they don't use it as a building blocks. Like, oh, that's on that corner of the movie. Let's get back to the real picture of like all this stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So something like that is what I really look forward to in horror movies. Looking at other examples on the table here, I mean, for you and I, we both really love paranormal stuff. When we think,
I love the
right?
Like when I watch a horror movie, I'm looking for like weird shit.
Yeah, like the slashers, they're classics and they scared people back then. They're like, I'll watch Halloween tonight and I won't be scared by it. So, you know what I mean?
One thing I noticed about the slasher movies, especially from that era, like it's those 70s, 80s like slasher horror films that like all the iconic horror movies that came out of those decades were mostly slashers.
Yeah.
It was Halloween, it was Friday the 13th, and it was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, and Chucky
right?
actually.
And
too.
Chucky.
Yeah.
And you know, there is a paranormal aspect to Freddy Krueger, but it's more like you're putting the real characters in those situations where like the kills are like, even though it's happening in like some dream world, the kills are gruesome. The kills are not, it's not like you're not being
absolutely
possessed. You're being murdered.
And just to say really quickly, you know what's interesting about that? All those 4 characters that we just mentioned later in their series became paranormal. Like Chucky dies at the end.
And then
Jason's been drowned his whole life and comes up. Freddy is a dream person. Michael Myers dies every fucking movie and comes back. The only slasher villain that's not been paranormal and people don't like is Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw.
He's not nearly as loved as the other ones.
No, he's just a guy that has a chainsaw and eats people.
It's because, and that's okay. So I will get on that in just a second.
Yeah, for sure.
But with that, like the one thing I noticed is that with those slashers coming out and those iconic slashers coming out around those decades, it was student filmmaking. It was independent.
Absolutely,
filmmaking.
It was.
They made them because it was cheap.
Yeah,
Especially
Friday the 13th.
You could get a horror movie. You could get a horror movie, and all of your scares can come from one big guy.
Yeah,
in a with a weird silhouette.
just get him a boiler suit and a mask.
Literally get a guy who looks weird, and if you can't make him look scary by being daunting or huge, then you get Freddy Krueger, who's scary because you know he's fucking creepy because all of the lore surrounding the character is horrifying.
The lore building and everything.
And so it's all of that makes Freddy Krueger. But anyway, it's just that generation that made all those little slasher characters huge. Was the generation of broke. Like, nobody could make a fucking horror movie because you can't film the paranormal stuff. When you watch Conjuring, people are being thrown around rooms.
Yeah, dude,
stuff.
no
you
kidding.
can't afford to make
no
that.
kidding. And I don't know when
The Exorcist did it. Watch Exorcist now. The Exorcist didn't really do it.
It's still scary, but not in the way of a modern horror movie, where modern horror movies are made to be in your face with their scares rather than be psychological and make you think or look around. Again, back to Hereditary. One thing I love about that movie, while it's in your face, around the end, if you look around in the frame, you see like Toni Collette's character like on the fucking roof or on the ceiling, like crawling around and shit. And I love movies that make you look for the scare rather than it jumping out at you in your face, or like being so extreme as flinging a girl around a room, you know? Another one like Insidious. I was talking to you earlier. I like Insidious way more than The Conjuring because a good example of that is how low key it is with its scares. Like, you remember that Tiny Tim ghost dance scene? To me, that scene where she walks out to take the trash out, and then to like come back in and looks through the window and sees a little ghost boy dancing, that's way scarier to me than a girl flinging around.
And then get in the house and he's gone. I completely agree.
Absolutely.
It's the idea of being able to see, if you could see it with your own eyes, that's how it would have happened.
Absolutely.
Is you would have seen somebody in the corner of your eye dancing, and you would have gone back into the house to that same spot and seen them gone and thought you were just crazy. But really, it was like, it's like, that's the kind of shit that's just like the kind of stuff that's completely out of your control.
I know.
That's
so good. It's so
right. That's
so
why
scary and good.
That's why the slasher thing. With the Will's one of my roommates, right?
Yeah.
We know Welsh.
Of course.
From fucking
Love
a long
Will.
time ago.
Yeah.
He's really into like classic horror movies.
Absolutely,
really into
yeah.
but like, and he'll admit it too. It's garbage cinema that he loves. You know, it's garbage.
Yeah, Will's the one that got you Chop Kick Panda and fucking Annoying Orange.
He didn't get me these things. He bought them for himself, and then
right, and now
then he put them downstairs in the man cave. And
and now they're in your DVD collection.
Yeah. Well, no, because that's what I mean. None of those DVDs are mine.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right? Everybody put their own furniture in that house. I bought the furniture I needed that I would have if I had to move out.
Right.
Yeah, but all that stuff is there. But anyway, he's the one who's just in love with all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's that I watched I think the third one with him, the third Friday the 13th.
Oh, the 3D one?
Or yeah,
Part 3,
the 3D one. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's so horrible, and
Yeah.
literally, like, it's just a matter of like if the final girl in the movie had just picked a direction and ran in that direction for
she
the
wouldn't
whole
die.
movie,
Yeah.
she would have been fine. Like, she would have died of starvation before fucking Jason got to
It's
her.
interesting that you say that those movies were made for cheap. You can tell also by the writers. They hired cheap ass
No
fucking
shit,
writers, right?
But it's literally just like that. Yeah.
It's like then she runs right into him and dies.
Yeah, then
You
she
know?
runs into him, and then he grabs her, and she gets away. And then she runs for 5 minutes, then he grabs her, she gets away.
And then he jump scares her.
Yeah.
Kills her.
And then he's in a closet in a room where she's unsure if he's there because she hasn't seen him in a while. And it's just like, come on now.
Yeah.
But it's just like that. Like I watched that with him and like got like that sort of like vibe.
Yeah.
Where I had like it made it so that it made me appreciate paranormal horror even more. Where it's just like the fact that I can like when I watch The Conjuring or whenever I've seen The Exorcist, it's those side characters that aren't like the actual possessed in the movie, that make it scary because of the fact that they have no control over the situation. Absolutely. Like when you can imagine being the father of a young girl that's like fucking being possessed in a movie, you can imagine the helplessness of a character versus like that character might be more useful in a slasher scenario where they could literally be the guy who says, let's just get out of the house and run down the road because he's walking.
Yeah.
And he's, for some reason, guys, I just noticed that Jason guy's not chasing us. He's just walking. So maybe we should just run
Maybe
north.
we should just get in the car.
Let's run north. We could outrun him.
Yeah.
We could do it on foot.
And there are some horror movies too that have like just the dumbest fucking twists you could possibly think of. Like, have you ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then it's government work?
Yeah, like
what
come
the fuck?
on, it's terrible.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
So that marked us. We ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
That
It's like
it.
no. It was the writers being like, and then we're gonna throw them a curveball. Because it's such a it's such a generic thing to be a Cabin in the Woods. Let's give them the biggest curveball that does not matter.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
is that they literally got in the writer's room and they're like, "Okay, so how do we do something they've never done before?"
It's like, fucking government god.
Weird. Let's just start a horror movie and end Total Recall.
Yeah,
and it's like why? What
like,
the fuck?
it's just awful.
Nobody cares.
What's one of the newest horror movies that you've seen, like in theaters or on demand or whatnot? What's the newest one that you've seen that you liked?
The newest horror movie I saw in
yeah.
The
or just something new that you watched and liked.
Theaters, it would have been a
theaters
while.
Is tough. Yeah,
theaters would have been a while. The last one I remember seeing that I like for the first time.
Yeah, first time. Yeah, sorry.
It was Us.
Okay,
yeah,
I still haven't seen that.
That wasn't that long ago. That wasn't really that long ago at all. Like it's still really fresh.
Okay, so what did you think about it?
I don't know. What did you think?
I've never seen it. I've only seen Get Out.
That's the only one you've seen from Jordan Peele?
Yeah, still haven't seen it.
So now I've only seen the two. I haven't seen the new one. No.
Okay, I've heard that one's really good. Yeah.
I've heard it's bad.
Really?
Well, Kara and Tom saw it.
Oh.
Now I'm like dropping names. I shouldn't be saying people's names on the show. But yeah, they did. They said they didn't like it.
You know what's funny?
Kara and Tom were both, or Tom was on the show.
Yeah. No, I've listened to their movie opinions quite a lot because like they saw X earlier this year. You know that movie X?
I thought it was garbage.
It sucks, dude. It's so fucking bad.
And it looked so good.
I know. It looked amazing.
Pretty.
Shot beautifully. But that movie, awful. I saw that in the theater, and when that scene with the two old people at the end, I was like, what am I fucking watching?
And also, I think I'm right in that one of the lead, the final girl, I think that's appropriate.
Mia Goth, I think her name is.
She also played the old lady.
Yeah, she did.
That's not funny. I love that.
I'm just going to check the time. Oh, we only have a minute. We have 2 minutes. So I just really want to quickly say that
just before a break.
Yeah, just before break. The only thing that I think is really cool about X is how they're kind of building this trilogy all in the span of 1 year. You've heard about that, right?
No, they're building a trilogy off X.
Oh, dude. So the second one's already out and the third one's coming out.
What's the second one?
Pearl.
That's the second?
That's the prequel of the old lady when she was young.
I thought it was the same girl.
It is.
Oh my god.
It's the same girl.
I thought I was watching a trailer for X when I saw the trailer for Pearl.
Yeah, and guess what? So they're making a third one called Maxine, and it's set in the 80s in LA for her to become an actress. And it's going to be like a horror movie of her becoming an actress. So that's the only cool thing. It just sucks that X is so fucking bad.
Well, they might make it good.
I hope so, buddy. Because X was awful.
I guess so. Either way.
There's no point. That first hour, dog shit.
I know. No, they're just
honestly,
bored. The first fucking 2 hours, they're just making porn, guys.
Yeah, they were just making porn the whole movie, and then
an old lady tries to kill him. You watch the movie.
Just to go back on topic though, of like, I feel as though a lot of modern horror movies really try to, I don't know, throw something so clever in there. It just makes everything fucking fall apart. It's either that, you either have a really good one, like Hereditary or Insidious or even Paranormal Activity, or then you just have dog shit like Ouija, Origin of Evil.
So, okay.
It's really tough. It's a tough genre.
So that's what I'm saying is that, like, with slasher and paranormal, there's like, you literally, like, if I'm just thinking about it like bare bones, like, as a viewer, it's whatever you choose to enjoy. Like, whatever you like is what you get. You're gonna pay for if you like slasher, you're gonna pay to see Jason, you know.
Absolutely.
But it's just when you think about, like, if you had to sit down and actually write a horror movie, I would take paranormal any day. Like,
absolutely.
if they said you can choose to write a slasher movie or choose to write a paranormal, you have endless possibilities for story.
So much creative
slasher,
opportunity.
You have a damaged villain who's doing shit,
who has a
for
knife.
Like, that's what we got. You know, we have reality is what they're giving us. It's just like a damaged person who does gross shit. Literally half of the events of every Halloween movie ever made is Ted Bundy's career.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
We don't, like, and that's why it's so careless.
Yeah.
In the 70s, it was hard for these. It was less talked about, like how these things actually happen all the time. Like slasher events, these things happen all the time. You know, with the internet, we get news updates of all these horrible things happening.
Right.
These things were always happening.
Yeah, it's true.
We just get the updates now. And so that's what that's what melded the genre to make it a little, for me, that's what made the genre a little bit less flattering, is the fact that, like,
it's more based in reality
this
than.
This is literally things that, like, I've read about worse things that have happened in the real world than the shit I'm seeing in these movies, but you've never read something as horrible as what happened in The Conjuring or The Exorcist.
No, that's very true.
Like, the stories you have read, nobody believes them anyway.
Yeah, because, like, they say those movies are based on true events, which, I mean, shit, they probably
have
are.
You ever heard
right?
of The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
I have. I've seen that one photo. It's really nasty. Like, you know, like the old school photo of actual Emily Rose.
Oh, the real girl. Yeah, Annalise. I forget what her
yeah.
Just sad. Like,
yeah.
And that's like, but, you know, no disrespect, but, like, we don't know if those are photos of a woman possessed.
Yeah.
We know that those are photos of a woman in pain and scared.
Yeah.
But we don't know if those are photos of a woman possessed. That's what makes the genre so creepy. Is it's all out of your control, and if you see it happening before you, and you have no explanation, and even if you don't have an explanation, most people who have no explanation would probably still lean towards believing in just shit happens before they believe in the devil.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and it's that factor is what makes horror so much more interesting.
It's about paranormal horror, right?
Well, yeah, no, paranormal, yeah. It makes the versus slashers. To me, slasher is just like, I'm watching the movie the whole time thinking, like, who do I know that could beat him up? Like,
right, yeah, like Chucky.
I'm watching it like I'm watching Halloween, like, my dad could kick his ass. Like,
like, that's the funniest thing about the Chucky series too, is that, like, anyone could kick that doll's ass.
I've never watched Chucky and believed a fucking second of it.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because the first movie we ever watched together was at your 13th birthday party.
I'm so happy you remember this.
Yeah, and it was Curse of Chucky.
I can't believe you remember this.
Yeah, the first movie we ever watched together.
Curse was the first one?
Curse. Yeah. It was the newest one. It came out that weekend on direct-to-DVD.
This was 2013.
9 years ago.
We had just fucking... Oh, no, it would have been 2012. Oh, no, it would have been 2013.
No, it was 2013.
We had just met at Vic.
Yeah.
And you were one of my... Oh, this was grade 8.
Yeah, this was grade 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you were one of my closest friends at the time. You were my only friends at the time.
Yeah.
And you were the only guy that came to my birthday party when I was 13 years old.
Absolutely, I did.
And you showed up, and we went, and I had some birthday money, and we went, and we...
this was when you were also into Magic. You bought Magic cards.
I bought
the bicycle cards.
Deck.
Yeah.
Oh, you were right. So we went to a Walmart that was by my house.
Yeah.
And I bought because I found out they had bicycle playing cards.
Yeah.
Because I was into card Magic.
Yeah.
And that's why I had no friends. Just kidding. But I was into card Magic. I found the deck, and then we went to the movie section. The Curse of Chucky had just dropped. We thought to watch it.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And also we got some nacho. Like it was just I was just happy.
That was one of the first scary movies I really watched with a friend. I was like, Jesus Christ.
And also we didn't know what we liked.
Yeah,
I know I liked Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky is fun.
But that's because of like Bride of Chucky and like it's because of the funny movies. It wasn't really because of the original ones. Even though I saw the first Child's Play before I saw any other Chucky movie, and I saw it really young, and it scared the shit out of me.
I was going to actually segue into asking you as well. What was one of the first movies that like really like horror movies that really fucked up or fucked you up? Really?
The Strangers?
Yeah.
Fucked me up.
I still haven't seen that movie.
The Strangers is the way I've talked shit about like slasher movies too.
But that's a home invasion movie, right?
Yeah, it is. And that was real talk to me.
Yeah.
And also the way they shot it was like it's not like slasher, like it's not nerfed at all. Like it's not
good.
Oh, come on.
Okay, that's good
like,
though.
It is a little bit here and there. Like somebody.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it is a movie. Like people still could like human error isn't quite that stupid.
Right.
But there is like it's way less of like just like fucking Freddy or Jason like steps on their shoelace.
Oh my god!
It's like genuine, like it just made me feel like this shit is like at any moment 3 people could break into my house, and like the idea that would like what's even scarier?
What's that?
Is when you watch a movie that like you're like because I've like for me when I was growing up, my dad was my hero growing up. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And my dad still's my hero.
Yeah,
but it's watching a movie and knowing your dad might not have that one.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So when you watch it, and you're just like, or like it's like when you're driving in the middle of the night on a road trip, and your dad's driving, and you can't see anything outside of the car, outside of the fucking 6 feet where the headlights are.
Right.
But you feel totally safe.
Yeah.
Because your dad's the one who's driving, or your mom's the one who's driving, or whatever. You have that figure driving. When now as a grown up, in reality, that person the whole time you felt safe while they were driving.
They were
around,
scared.
They also didn't know if a deer was gonna hop out.
Yeah.
And fucking.
They were probably
everyone.
freaked out.
They were just as unaware as you were.
Yeah.
But you still felt safe.
Yeah.
And it's when I watched The Strangers where I thought to myself that like when I thought about my dad and I was like, oh, my dad's here, and then it just occurred to me, I was like, I don't know if my dad would have that one on his own. And then immediately you realize that you're not as safe as you thought you were.
Yeah,
that scared me.
I've heard that movie really fucks you up.
The Strangers fucking.
It's like gory, right?
It's can be.
Yeah.
It can
okay.
Be. It's mainly just like shit goes on where you like it would mess with your head. Like you're really, the victims in the movie. You're really working in the same. You're reacting the same at the same pace they are. There's a scene where I think they just first intrude the house. They just get in the house. You see none of the other characters have seen the intruders, but we have. They've been in the background.
Oh, that's so freaky, yeah.
And so there's one scene where one of the guys, you see him in the back, he leaves the room, character gets off the phone, puts her phone down on a counter, and she hears a noise. When she comes back, the phone's burning in the fire pit. That is like a moment where you imagine, if you saw that, that would just your life.
That would destroy you.
It would fucking ruin someone's in your house. For me, it's like I would literally fucking charge through a window to make sure I got I wouldn't think about it.
Yeah, you just get out of there.
It's just it's just those little tiny things that they did where they like, even though those are like obvious horror movie tropes, I was 12, but it's just those like, it's those little things that like for me was like even more than paranormal horror. That was just like, I was reacting with them. Oh my god, they burnt my phone. They did this. Where's my fucking girlfriend? Where's that? Like you're just going through the whole thing like, oh fuck. And then you see them writing notes. Like you're reacting with the actual victim. And it's not, and you maybe there are some tropes that you would see coming now. But while I was watching them, I was fucking my house was being invaded while I was watching it. Like all of those things. Everything I was thinking out was being taken down one by one while watching the movie. And then everyone loses. Like,
oh really?
They kill everyone.
Oh,
the movie, or there's one surviving character.
Spoilers.
Come on, you guys. It's 15 years old. That
what
movie.
The frick, dude? The frick?
Well, maybe not 15 years old, but it's old. And then they made a second one. Fuck.
Yeah, that came out like 2019. Strangers Pray at Night.
Pray at Night.
Terrible.
Was that 2019?
I think it was either 16 or 19. I'm pretty sure.
I remember being in high school when it came out.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe it was 2016.
Or like 16 would make sense.
Though, one of the first movies that ever really traumatized me, I have 2 stories. Funny enough. One is Paranormal Activity, because I was fucking 7. So this version of the movie, the like wide release, the one that's on Blu-ray, the one that was put in theaters, that came out in 2009. A lot of people don't know this. There's a version that was even more independent than that. It's the exact same movie shot. It's the exact same scenes with a different ending that came out in 2007.
Where they didn't throw him?
Yeah.
And I saw this movie.
I saw it too, and you can't fucking find it anywhere. I can't find it, but I saw it when I was 7 years old on Shaw On Demand.
When it was released.
Yeah, in 2007.
Yes.
Yeah, for like $1. I paid to watch that. My family
and that's
friend.
What made this conquer the world.
That's what made that version go crazy, because everyone's like, that was the version that we saw when we were so little that it was like genuinely scary.
So the real ending is she throws him at the camera.
The theatrical one is.
Yeah.
The theatrical ending is that she throws him at the camera. The real ending is, I can't remember if that part happens, but I feel like it does. She walks up to the camera. That's still in the theatrical. No, she smiles and then she backs up and sits at a wall and gets shot to death by the police.
I've seen it.
Yeah. That is the real original ending. And then it is supposed to say, like, it says that, I forgot exactly what happened, but the thing that really scared me is that it says she was shot to death, but that you know how in the end of this version of the movie, in the theatrical version, it's like, oh, Katie's whereabouts are unknown, right? In the original version, it said something around the lines of like, we took her to the morgue to burn the body, we can't find it. And I was just like,
all right, that's pretty cool.
7-year-old me, I was like, oh,
she's in my house.
Yeah. And no, the worst part is I was watching with a family friend. I think his name is Jordan. I can't remember him, honestly. Shout out Jordan.
Shout out Jordan.
He showed me this
Whoever
movie,
you are.
and her name is Katie, right? The end, he's like, yeah, Katie's coming for you. He says that. I'm 7. I shit my pants. Absolutely shit my pants.
Funny. Yo, that's so funny that you tell that, because like my earliest memory of horror movies was being forced to watch them.
Yeah.
My earliest memory of any horror movie was my fucking sister and my cousin.
Of course.
My cousin, my eldest cousin, or not, I don't know if he's the eldest, but he's my
Cody?
brother. It's Cody. He's my brother.
Absolutely.
Right? And so my sister and Cody fucking, they put me in a room and they fucking sat me down and they made me watch The Grudge in full.
Oh,
and then they both left the room when
God.
I didn't know what the movie was. They both left the room and locked me in the room with the movie. And I was young enough that I didn't know how to turn it off.
Oh,
so I
no.
might have been like 6 or 7.
Oh, my
I didn't
God.
know how to work the machine. Because I get this, back in, like, holy, you sound old as fuck.
Yeah.
When I
Get this, kids.
When I was watching, when this happened to me, I was 7-year-olds didn't know how to work DVD players.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to work
No,
them.
too many
Whereas
buttons.
now, like a DVD, like we had a 7-year-old set up this podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's,
no.
yeah. They're like,
Not
I'll
really.
just watch the tutorial.
I had my fucking nephews work all this out for us. Now I could but like literally now kids can like work all that shit out.
Absolutely.
I didn't know how to work the
No
fucking
idea.
DVD player.
Yeah.
Right? So I wasn't able to actually do anything. So I was forced to sit there and watch the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
And for years this was the fucking crowning achievement that my sister and Cody ever
That is
pulled
so
off.
funny.
They were like, we fucking sat Colton down and made him watch all The Grudge.
Oh my God.
For years there's this scene in The Grudge where
Is it the
or it might be
stairs?
the second Grudge. No.
Okay.
That one also fucked me right up.
Yeah.
Everything fucked me up. The shower? I never closed my eyes in the shower.
Yeah, that's
There's
gross.
a scene where she's like shampooing her hair and
Yeah, and
pulls
then like
the
the
Grudge's hand.
Yeah.
I
Oh, it's
never
gross.
closed my eyes showering.
It's gross. It's
Okay?
gross.
But
yeah.
no, there's this scene where this old lady, or not an old lady, I don't remember how old she was old when I saw I saw the movie. She's even older now. But she fucking pulls up the blankets when she's sleeping in bed. The Grudge is in the blankets.
I know.
She pulls them
I
up
know what
and
you're
the Grudge
talking
just
about. I know
peeks
what you're
out.
talking about. Yeah.
It fucking
Oh,
horrifying me.
I know what you're talking
Like
about.
I would
yeah.
never get in the fucking in the bedspread.
Yeah.
Like I just
No.
I'd be scared, right? Just like it's like you're getting into a hot bath where you're just like, I don't know if I want to be in this bed.
Yeah.
For years, and like, was that? Do you remember the first movie that like literally made you want to stop watching movies? Like the first horror movie that was like, fuck that.
Probably Insidious.
Insidious was the first one.
I was 10. Yeah, and I was just like, it was so fake that I already experienced Paranormal Activity. I'm like, okay, I know this is fake. I know it's a movie, and it still freaked the shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah, it was so fucking scary. I haven't seen it since then, actually, so I can't really tell you how scary I would find it now. But like, being 10 years old and that being like the real first horror movie I wanted to watch, and then being too scared to go to bed, That was, I remember it really fucking me up. One thing I do remember in Insidious is that there was like this weird ghost dimension. I think Patrick Wilson's character goes into or something.
Oh yeah.
And that freaked me the shit. Like,
That was my favorite part about the movie.
Yeah, it freaked me out.
And honestly, I liked the second Insidious.
I haven't seen any other Insidious besides the first one.
The second one is fun.
Yeah,
because it really gets it. Like it goes into why like some of the like there's unexplained like little things that happen.
Yeah.
In the first one that they explain.
Yeah.
But it's like literally just like just like little things that they like little tropes they tried to scare you with
Sure.
in the first one.
Yeah.
They explain how they happened or why they happened.
Oh, okay.
Just like a clock turning on or something.
Yeah.
Like that's would have scared someone in the first movie, and then like there's somebody freaking out. They show why like that happened.
Yeah.
Like, so they're like trying to explain like when you watch a horror movie and you get a lot of those like a lot of those tools that horror filmmakers use.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna have a cat run across the camera
and like do some
we're
like
gonna
bullshit.
have we're gonna have all the whole kitchen just fall apart, or we're gonna, shit like that. Where the Insidious 2 pretty much just like showed you why all of those things happened. Like they showed a character in a dimension pulling on something that like, collapsed.
That's cool.
They did that. A little bit of that. So that was a lot of fun to watch. Actually, it was them like going through the house and showing the events of the first movie, but why they happened.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and all of those events of the first movie being caused by a character in the other dimension.
That's cool.
It's like, oh fuck yeah!
You're gonna put it on.
The hat.
You're gonna put it on.
The hat.
All right. Well, I guess I gotta put mine on
it's
too.
Halloween, eh?
It is.
He's got Mario.
I guess we gotta put both hats on. Yeah.
I just fucking.
I'm keeping mine on.
Keep it on. I just saw this guy.
Put it on. Put it on. It's Halloween.
I'm actually Captain Morgan.
Yeah, you're Captain Colton.
Captain Colton. Hi, Captain Colton.
Okay, I do have to say, not really to branch into a different kind of conversation, but did you watch the 4th season of Stranger Things?
I did.
What did you like it?
I watched only the 4th season of
Really?
Stranger Things.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
I've been watching every season as it comes out, and I have to say that it's not a scary show. It's not scary at all. But what they did with Vecna in that show unsettled the shit out of me. That guy's voice is like, don't cry. Yeah. Don't cry, Chrissy. Just total Freddy Krueger.
I remember watching.
So good.
I watched an interview, I think, with the guy who plays
Jamie Campbell, Power or something.
And they had him do the voice or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, so when they're like, can you do Vecna's voice? And he's like, sure, I can do Vecna's voice. And he does it. And it's like, we all knew he couldn't do Vecna's voice.
Yeah.
Like, he could do what they put the effects over.
Absolutely.
Like, he could do the... But then, like, in the show, we hear a much different version of it. But on the talk show he was doing, they were like, oh my god, he did it. But it's like...
This guy's trash.
That didn't sound like Vecna.
Yeah, like, right.
Are we all gonna pretend like it sounded like Okay. But it's like on the show, it's...
Oh, wow.
Like, it's a much different voice, right?
I'd be like, that's not what I asked for, but good job. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, can you do Darth Vader? And he's just like... Well, yeah, that's like, like they play with it a little bit. It doesn't quite like,
Yeah.
Can you do Iron Man? It's like,
can you do Iron Man?
Yeah, when he's in the suit, they put like a thing over it.
Can you do Hulk?
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon? Wow, that is just amazing.
Jimmy Fallon?
Fuck. That's the scariest thing right now. Jimmy Fallon still being fucking Tonight Show.
You don't like Jimmy Fallon.
He's okay. He's just fake laughing.
He does fake laugh a lot.
Oh no, not a lot. Every joke.
Every
fucking joke.
I don't think I've ever heard him laugh.
Like
seriously.
Jimmy, like the guest is like, yeah, I got this new comedy special coming out, but like, it's unfortunate because as I was recording, like I had a big tragedy. Oh my god!
You're absolutely right.
Fuck. Let your guests talk. He
does that. I thought you'd be happy. Oh, I know we're doing a Halloween episode. I thought you'd be happy that they're kicking out James Gordon.